Good morning. We're in the studio. I don't know how this is gonna go, but I figured I'd just get started. I wanted to get in here today, and the only way that I can get in here today is if he is with me, and rather than limiting myself and saying, it's not a good time, I don't think I can do this, it's gonna be a mess, it's gonna be crazy. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna surrender to this experience and I'm gonna bring you in here with me and at least put you in the high chair so that you're corralled in some way. But we are going to make art together. How does that sound to you?
Oh, good.
Yeah? Sounds good? We'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to work on this painting right now. That's not the vibe that I'm going for, but I will show you. It is what it looks like. A video on that later. But this is a painting I've been working on. I started the wash a few months ago, and just recently I've been slowly working on it, and I feel happy to be working on it. But it feels like something that I need to do on my own time in silence. So I'm gonna put this to the side. And what are we gonna do today, son? What are we gonna do today? Yeah, Mama's gonna paint some earrings. I'm in a earring painting mood. And also I got the invitation to do Porch Fest again, and I have not really been working on my business per se, and that kind of hurts my heart, but at the same time I'm very understanding of the fact that like I have so many things that I'm doing, right? Like I'm a mother firsthand, and I have a full-time job, and I have chickens, and I have this van, and all of these other side quests. So me working on earrings and taking inspiration and doing things for my business has kind of like taken a step back. It's been on, lower on the priority list. But today I have the vibe of like, I have things in my mind that I want to get out that I think would look good as earrings. You want some? 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. So I figured we'd just come in. We have time, we have energy. I feel like I need to just kind of do things despite anxiety, despite fear, despite feeling like I can't do it because I have him, when that's not necessarily the case. It's just kind of, it feels very limiting, and I don't want to limit myself in any way. So we're in here. I am going to paint, and I'm gonna let him paint a little bit too, but I'm not gonna give him free for all because I'm a little nervous about that. We'll see how things go. He does have an affinity for putting things in containers and taking them out and putting it in and putting it out, so I think he'll be all right. But I'm gonna work on these earrings. Let me get my journal. And where is my pen? I don't have a pen, but I have a pencil. Today is July 4th. Alright. My inspiration for these earrings are, in fact, my son. Now, when he was first born and I was on maternity leave, I was inspired, and I made some earrings that were inspired by him having been born. There were these beautiful sunrise earrings with like iridescent gold paint and clouds, and I felt so connected to that imagery, and I loved those earrings. And I remember when I was out doing markets and I was selling them, people had a lot to say about them. People seemed to be quite drawn to them, and I really felt like those earrings were special because they were the first ones that I ever made after he was born. And I always keep a pair of earrings for myself. Whenever I make a pair of earrings, I keep a pair for myself so that I have obviously my own version to wear, my own set to wear. They're my earrings. I'm making them because I want to, because I'm inspired, because I'm this creative artsy person, so I feel like I have to have my own creations. And so I kept a pair and I sold the rest. And then time went by, and one day I went looking for those earrings and I couldn't find them anywhere. I still can't find them anywhere. I don't know what happened to them. I don't know if I mistakenly sold my pair or left them somewhere, or I don't know. I don't know what happened to those earrings. And it makes me really sad to think that they were the first ones I made after he was born, and I kept a pair for myself, and then now they're gone. But all that being said, I did make them, and I do have the opportunity to make them again, and I can make them however I want. It's gonna be kind of like a 2.0, type thing, a different version. Second version of those original earrings. So we're just gonna kind of go with the flow and see how they come out today. I'm gonna just go with the same vibe of a big golden sun, clouds in the sky. What are you doing? There you go. I'm gonna just go from there. I remember there was a lot of sparkles. I put like rhinestones and glitter. They were so cute. They were so cute. And I need another pair for myself. So we are going to do that. Alrighty, Bubba. You gonna help me? You wanna help me paint? I'll give you the paintbrush, you can help me out. Yeah. Ooh. All right. We are starting with our base color. See how much we can do before this turns into a meltdown. I don't even want to put that out into the universe, but we all saw how yesterday went. When I tell you, there was so much dirt in his hair, it was crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. It was crazy. Like, dirt, wood chunks, all up in his hair. I did wash it and detangle it, and it kind of was a headache, but I got it all out. But it was very, very dirty. After I got off the live yesterday of us planting, excuse me, my goodness, of us planting the herbs, I stripped him down and we played in the water hose as I cleaned up the porch and watered the plants and stuff. It was we had a good bit of fun after the fact, just playing in the water, and it helped the bath process because there was dirt everywhere. All right, you want to help me paint? Mama's gonna paint the circles. Can you help me? Like this. Ready? Mama should have put some paper down. That's okay. I gotta paint it, honey. Yep. You gotta paint the circle with blue paint. Hold on. Paint, 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 paint. Can I have this? That's paint on your fingers. Alright, there's one. Boom. Can you help me out with this one? Ready? Paint, 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 paint. There we go. Let's do the next one. Help me. We're gonna put that one to the side like this, and then we're gonna paint. Paint, 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 paint. What do you think? Mm-hmm. No! Not in the mouth, bud, okay? Please, not in the mouth. This is not washable, nor is it non-toxic. Which is not a good idea of me, Mom. No quiere. Gracias. Yucky. Yucky. Yucky, yucky. I've only ever painted with him one other time, and that was for Christmas time. At the time he was 9 months, 10 months. I think he was 10 months during Christmas time. And our gift to our family members was a little like professional portrait that he took at daycare. And I took the copies of the picture and put it on a painted background that he had done, that we did together. And I like painted out Barrett's first Christmas, his first Christmas, 2024. It was like super cute, and I put yarn through it so it could be hung up on the Christmas tree. It was fun, but it was also one of those moments where it was like, I'm not prepared for this. Because I just like put out paint and I was like, all right, we're gonna do this. And I didn't think about the fact that he would likely want to put it in his mouth and put it all over his clothes and wanted to touch everything except the things that I had prepared. So it was just kind of crazy. And since then we haven't done anything with paint. But today I wanted to paint, and that's why I was like, you know what, whatever it looks like today, it's gonna be okay. Mama's prepared. Yeah, can I get your lip? Thank you. You want some paper or something? You want to color? You do paper. Let me get you some. Where do those crayons go? There they are. Hold on. Guys, shout out to one of my students. She gave me this big old box of crayons just randomly. And I also have this one. All these different colors, and if you rub the colors on the paper, the colors come off like that. See? Ready? Up and down, up and down. And color with it. Yes, nice job. Or you can put it in the cup, whatever works for you. This is our open studio, honey. You could do whatever you want. You could do whatever you want. Anyways, how's y'all's day going? What are you doing on this fine, beautiful Friday? Anybody else being terrorized by fireworks at 2 o'clock in the morning like we were? What you got going on, Bubba? That's your paper. That's what you're supposed to color on. Paper. Now what? You want to help me with this one? Painting, painting, we are painting. Next one. Ready? Help me. Painting, painting, we are painting. Next one. Help me out. Help me. What's that? You put the crayon on top of the circle. Mama's painting the circle blue. I'll give you another circle. Hold on. There you go. Mama's painting the circle blue. What? You want to help me paint, or you want this one that I'm painting? Typically, that means you want what I have. What? Mmm. Is that cold or hot? Cold or hot? I realize in this moment, which I've started painting here with him, that I need to get some washable, child-friendly paint. I don't know why I haven't thought of it before, why I didn't get it before, but I definitely need to. I need to put that on my Amazon checklist, my Amazon shopping cart. Mama needs to get you some child-appropriate paint so that we can actually be in here together and do this without being worried about you putting it in your mouth or it getting everywhere. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, man? Here, help me out with this one. Let's do, we're mixing blue and white. And that's giving us a really nice light baby blue to make it look like a nice, beautiful, clear sky. Painting, 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 paint, 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 paint. There we go. Look at that. Good work. Let me give you your own paintbrush. How about that? Ooh. That's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorites. Okay, we do this. Put a little bit of paint like this. Can I get your brush wet? Like this? There we go. Then, there you go. Since your brush is wet, the water will kind of spread out a little bit. What? What does that mean? Water? No, that one's mine. You gonna dip it in the water? There we go. Dip it. And now put it on the paint. Nice. There you go. That's enough water for now. You don't need that much water. Before you know it, you'll be slinging water everywhere. Ugh. Go on ahead and paint that for me, son. All right. We got the first layer. We're gonna go on ahead and do the second layer. I have a miniature fan that I'm gonna whip out and use to help dry these off, so that this process can go a little bit faster. A little bit faster. You painting? What time is it? 11:18. What do you think, Bubba? I think maybe we'll paint a little bit. You want to paint on paper? You switch. You paint a little bit. We take a break. We have some lunch. You take a nap. Mama probably come in here and continue working on this. That sound good to you? That sound good to me. And then later, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be able to work on the van. We need to work on the van. Okay, here's an update, okay? I took the battery out of the van, got it replaced. The van started beautifully. She was purring. And then this past weekend, I was like, okay, I want to get in the van. I want to do something. I have a little bit of time to myself. I'm going to hop in this van and go to the beach. That was my intention. That was my plan. I had set everything up, made sure the van was good to go, right? So what's going on, bud? You okay? I get in the van and I go to start it, and I am filming this, and I go to start the van and it doesn't start. It doesn't start. It did not start. I was in such shock. I was like, no, I cannot believe this. Because I was so ready. Like, and there was no indication in the previous, 2 weeks since I changed the battery that something was wrong. So I had to scratch that idea, obviously. The van is waiting on maintenance, some tender loving care. So I'm hoping that we will be able to do that today. I think the problem is that the van needs a new starter. It did sit for a long time before. What happened, baby? You want this brush back? What happened? Up! You want to get down. That's what I am hearing. What do you need? Kiss? ¿Qué quieres? You want another brush? Yeah. That's a paintbrush. How does that feel? What happened to the little cup that you had? Hold on, Bob. Let me get this cup for you. And I know you like these beads. The beads and these cubes, I'll get them too. Maybe we'll start with the squares. We'll start there. Okay? Distract! So, where was I? I got in the van to go to the beach, and the van unexpectedly did not start. That was very surprising to me because I didn't anticipate that happening, but obviously the van is old. She's a 1993 and had been sitting for nearly 2 years. So there are things that were bound to be in need of attention. So the van has been sitting, but hopefully today and this weekend we have some time and energy, and the weather allows us to get outside and work on the van. I think it needs a starter. Did I say that? I don't know if I actually mentioned that or not. I'm pretty sure it needs a starter. The battery is all hooked up pristinely, might I say. It's all hooked in there the way that it's supposed to. And there is indication, like when I stuck the key in the ignition, the van like sounds like and looks like it wants to start, but then once you turn the key over, it just, you know, the key just goes whack, the engine goes whack. So it's disappointing, but at the same time, I feel like I'm in a place where I'm in no rush to do anything with the van because I know that I'm going to keep it, and I know that I have the means and the will to fix it up and get it to a place where I can use it safely, and I don't want to rush that process. And I have someone that is able and willing to help me, and that feels like a blessing in itself. So we are hopefully going to be working on the van today and this weekend, and I'll have an update about that at some point in time. But that's where we're at. I'm hoping that by the end of the summer we can go on a camping trip. I would really, really like that. I'm hoping for that. I know it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of doing the work that it takes to manifest that. So it's gonna take a little bit of time, it's gonna take a little bit of effort, but I'm okay with that. And in the meantime, you satisfied? You happy with that? What? All done with this? Give me some, put it in the water. Yesterday, when we were doing the herbs outside, I was talking about how I wanted to put the blueberry bush in the ground out in the garden, but then I started thinking about whether or not that was a good idea, because I have space out there and I could put it in the ground and I'm sure it would grow. But then I started reading about the fact that blueberry bushes like very acidic soil, and that it's much easier to maintain acidic soil in a pot than it is in the ground. So I feel inclined to put the blueberry bush in the big pot that I have where I used to have lemongrass, rather than stick it in the ground and I don't know. I feel like I should put it in the big pot first and maintain the soil in a pot with the hopes that it becomes big and healthy and it fruits before I put it in the ground and like it establishes itself in that space. I also read that you need more than one plant for it to pollinate. And I only got one plant. So now I'm debating on if I need to go buy another one. But these are just the thoughts that I've been thinking. Nonetheless, I have to go back to Lowe's and get some more soil because I need to plant the little basil plant. And if I'm gonna do anything at all with the blueberry bush, I need to get some soil acidifier. It's like parallel play, right? They say when your child is occupied and independently consuming, and entertaining themselves, and they're quiet and safe, just leave them be. Leave them be. Don't say anything, don't do anything. You see how he's throwing stuff? Carry on. But he's entertaining himself. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. It's not dirt, right? Like, it's not like he's throwing dirt on me like he was yesterday. That was a little bit crazy. All of the sounds of the wood hitting things behind you. What did you do that for? You want to look? You want to look at a magazine? Want to look at a magazine, Bubba? It's National Geographic. It's the good stuff. It's like, what the heck is this? What the heck is this? What are they doing? Look at that shark eating that fish. Not interested. I feel like we're coming to the end of the road. What do you want? You want that camera? I have high hopes that this camera actually works. But I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna let him have it. I'm gonna let him have it. Guess he's over those items. Yeah, it happens very quickly. I shouldn't have said anything. I feel like the second I say, oh my God, he's occupied, look at him enjoying himself, he's having such a good time, and I don't have to entertain him, then it's like, oh, that's what you thought? Oh, okay, say less. Boom, everything everywhere. Yeah. Yeah. Ready? Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Ding. Part of me wants to get, I really want a GoPro, but I think I might just buy like a cheap version off of Amazon. One, because I want a waterproof camera and something that I can take with me to the beach and like kayaking, because I really want to start kayaking again. And just like have a smaller, more durable camera than my super fancy one and my phone. To be able to use in those environments without fear of messing anything up. But also because I low-key want to give him the camera and just kind of like press record for him and see what he gathers in his own independent time. I don't know, I think it could be interesting. I also like the idea of like attaching a GoPro style camera to Xander whenever we go camping, and that being a point of view. Alright, I'm gonna do a quick touch-up. Quick touch-up. Quick touch-up. They don't need to be perfect. I realize that, like, I feel very connected to the imagery that I create on these earrings. But I really, did I start talking about this earlier? I kind of restrict myself in the process of like needing things to be so perfect and like this perfectionistic mindset often slows me down in a way that really, I think, kind of dampens the inspiration and dampens the feeling that I want to get out with these. At this point in time, I'm going to release him from this chair and just hope for the best. Okay? You're about to be released, brother. Okay? I'm going to unbuckle you. You're already halfway out. Say up. 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 There we go. There's so many things in here that are intriguing to the mind of a 1.5-year-old, of a 1.5-year-old. And I can't change that, you know? It's an art studio. I've got cool things. I've got crayons. I've got crayons and markers and paint and cards and paper and boxes and so many cool things. But it becomes a little bit of a headache when those things are not necessarily supposed to be touched all the time, or I don't want them to be touched all the time. Or, you know, aren't necessarily safe. This is not a child-friendly establishment. And that's why I've avoided being in here for so long while I have him, because everything is up for grabs. And then he touches things and looks at me like, you gonna say something to me or no? Can I touch this or no? Am I gonna have to run away from it or no? Which is so funny to me. Sometimes he looks at me with like this look like, I'm gonna do it. Are you gonna chase me? I'm gonna do it. And it's so cute. But also so mischievous. Alrighty, Xander. Is there somebody at the door? Tu padre es aquí. Alright. We've got to go. And with that being said, thank you for being here. If this was entertaining, like and subscribe. And if you want more, become a member. Become a member. Let me check these messages really quickly. All right. Bye, y'all. Love you. Thanks for being here.